Hello, AP US History students. Don't be frightened. It's me, Mr. Peterson, and I'm coming to you live from my living room right now. The mask. Well, I'm playing it safe. I started up my computer this morning and I saw a notice that my antivirus had expired. I'm not safe in my own home. So I'll do my best with this. Fella in the back there, let's see, that's my grandfather in law and Laura's grandfather. He was an industrialist capitalist from Connecticut. So he's with us today, and I figured I would dress in my industrialist capitalist outfit here for him. Now, oh boy, this is rough. I'm gonna take a chance and go bareback, so to speak. Phew, that's better. I want to apologize to those of you in Ms. Gartner's class because I was really hoping to get in to see you guys on Monday this week. I was going to do a little lesson from Ms. Gartner on music of the Dust Bowl with Woody Guthrie tunes, and I figured we could all do some singing and have a grand old time. But Mr. Olson contacted me and he said, "I'm worried about your health, John. Um, I don't want you to catch anything, and I would really rather that you stayed away." And it probably was the best decision. Perhaps that I have a patch of cow tissue now over a hole in my heart. And moo. I now have superhuman cow powers, but if I was to have a hyperinfection response, I am told that my body might attack the cow patch, which wouldn't be a good thing. I could die. Figure that. So anyway, sorry I didn't get to see you. This whole remote learning thing, aha! I can get to see you that way. I only wish I had thought of this sooner, but people more clever than me have already been on top of this. I'm not planning on doing any video conferencing. I understand that some of your teachers are doing that. That might be a little beyond my abilities. But I missed the 1920s with you, but a couple of big idea things that you want to have in mind as you get ready for the exam and you think of the 1920s. The 1920s are an exciting decade. You've got jazz, you've got nightclubs, you've got the Harlem Renaissance, and flapper women, all this great stuff going on. But remember that also the 1920s have this conservative kind of backlash going on. And prohibition is really the beginning of that conservative movement that things are getting out of hand. In the 1920s, you'll see the federal government clamping down on immigration, and they're targeting not Muslims, but Southern Europeans and Eastern Europeans. A lot of this has to do with a fear, not of fundamentalist Islam, but of communism. Okay, there's a resurgence of the Ku Klux Klan in the 1920s, and it was even right here in Vermont. There were some Vermont Ku Kluxers who broke into the Catholic Cathedral in Burlington, and they had heard that the Catholics were stockpiling guns to take over Vermont, and turn it into a papal state. They discovered the communion wine, though, and prohibition, and they broke into it and they got drunk, and the police found them in the morning, passed out in the sacristy there. But we didn't have so many black people in Vermont, but the Ku Klux Klan was also anti-Jew, anti-immigrant, anti-Catholic. So bear that in mind. Okay. Great stock market crash, 1929. We had that decade leading up of unregulated stock market activity. The economy really got out of hand. Boom, 1929, it crashed. enter the Great Depression. Franklin Roosevelt is our president, elected in 1932, the rock bottom year of the Depression. Poor Herbert Hoover had nothing to do with causing the Depression, but he happened to be in office when it came, and so he took the rap for that. Roosevelt has his New Deal, and keep these deals in mind when you go into the AP exam. Theodore Roosevelt had his Square Deal, okay, even-sided, even for everybody, labor, management, the factory owners, the mine owners. So Theodore Roosevelt, Square Deal. Franklin Roosevelt, New Deal. Harry Truman will have his Fair Deal. And then it's not such a deal, haha, but when you get to the 1960s and Lyndon Johnson has his Great Society program, and the Great Society program, like the Square Deal, the New Deal, and the Fair Deal, is an attempt at social engineering. Okay, could the federal government step in to improve people's lives? This is something we still debate about today. This is not a debate that has gone away. Okay, so you have coming from me a link. I'm putting together a show, lesson, whatever, on isolationism in the 1930s. The United States really wanted to turn its back on the rest of the world, and so I've got a little thing on that coming your way. Keep your eyes open for that. I'm thinking of you guys, and I don't want you to get frightened or scared with what's going on right now. I lived through teaching in the 1980s and 90s. Okay, that was in the last century. And you may have heard about this AIDS thing going around then, and that was a scary time. And I really got scared when I started to hear about teacher AIDS and library AIDS. And we had to learn how to practice safe school. So, you hang in there. Wash your hands. Okay? Don't hoard toilet paper. There are people out there who need it more than you. I don't know how, but anyway, I'm going to be signing off for now. Keep your eyes open on your email for a link to that 1930s isolationist thing that I'm pulling together. I miss you all. And if any of you have any questions or problems that you think I can help you with, don't hesitate to drop me an email or whatever. Just make sure that it's virus protected. Okay. So long for now.